we envision implementation of a Landcare process for restoration across all the southern African countries. And of course, the importance of that could not be overemphasized at this point when the region is seriously grappling with a set of devastating catastrophic droughts. The program, it was decided, would be based on two major principles. Number one, using the grassroots as a basis for scaling up. Of course, this is the essence of Landcare. It's focusing on the grassroots rather than those top-down programs that are so often the subject of land restoration efforts. In addition to that, the second principle was building on success, scaling up from those demonstrated areas where grassroots movements and restoration activities have already been successful so that this could expand further and rapidly across the landscape. So grassroots and scaling up on success is the fundamental foundation for this program that is currently being developed under the leadership of our colleagues in the Department of Agriculture in South Africa and the African Landcare Network. To move this along, we have planned to have a Landcare Masterclass, which will be convened in Zambia in December, first week of December this year. And what we want to do is two things in that masterclass. As with all masterclasses, we want to further build the capacity of Landcare practitioners in the region, and also using this as a platform for building more consensus amongst the proposal participants for this very large program of land restoration that the Limpopo workshop conceived last February. So we look forward to that, and it may be important to mark on your calendar and to contact us about perhaps being involved in the master class and in the development of this restoration program as well. Well, in conclusion, I have summarized a few of the key points that I've tried to emphasize today. Number one, underpinning all of this is the fact that land degradation is a serious crisis across the entire continent. South Africa and many, many other countries are grappling with this crisis. Number two, Landcare has taken root in Africa. It is growing and it is spreading in many countries, and millions of farmers are adopting land regeneration methods from a grassroots perspective. And this is the inspiration that can, we hope, multiply these efforts across the landscapes in the coming years. We realize that success will require building a broad-based Landcare movement in Africa for land restoration and food security. We are nowhere near having the impact of Landcare that is required, even though we do have the success stories that give us a start in this direction. Success will also require setting targets and monitoring carefully the progress achieved. And now that we have much better methods for satellite monitoring of tree cover, tree density, and the changes in tree cover over time, we can provide convincing evidence of what is happening, as I showed in the case of Niger a little earlier. Finally, I think what we really need underpinning all of this is greater leadership from South African Landcare in supporting the African Landcare process and growth and network across the region. I do believe that we can mobilize much more of what South Africa has achieved to be an example and to be a teacher to Landcare programs across southern African countries as well as the greater African region in the next few years. So I hope that during this conference we can initiate a discussion of how South African Landcare could develop a mechanism, perhaps like the